Welcome everyone to the Thousand Goddesses Gathering Womb Heart series. My name is Mare Cromwell and I'm a Gaia communicator and high priestess. I have surrendered to serve the Great Mother. Mother Gaia asked me to organize the first Thousand Goddesses Gathering on the Washington Mall in 2016. This event is based on a Tibetan prophecy that when 1,000 goddesses or Tibetan Taras unite, the tone of our sacred earth will shift from fear to compassion. Since 2016, the Thousand Goddesses Gathering has evolved into a unified field of divine feminine ceremonies around the world. And the global grid in 2021 is on October 23rd, and all of you are invited to join us. So earlier this spring, Mother Gaia and the overarching spiritual council behind the Thousand Goddesses Gathering requested that this year we focus our ceremonies on our womb hearts to awaken them. And the spiritual guidance was to interview wisdom keepers whose knowledge is deep about our womb hearts, to educate and inspire us as we plan our ceremonies. The guidance was also to make these interviews available for free to support all women and men, actually. So today I'm very thrilled to have the brilliant goddess and priestess and healer teacher, Emmi Mutale. I hope I'm saying your last name right there, Emmi.
Mutale.
Mutale, okay. So now to share a little background about Emmi. So Emmi Mutale is an intuitive healer, energy medicine practitioner, and a shamanic womb priestess and teacher dedicated to reawakening ancient feminine wisdom. She is an initiate to a South African shamanic lineage and trained in womb shamanism through the Fountain of Life and Sanctuary of Sophia. She's also trained in Zen, Shiatsu, and Usui and Lightarian Reiki. Emmi is also an advanced level EFT or EFTI and matrix reimprinting and heal your birth protocols practitioner. In her sacred work, Emmi weaves these modalities together to create a magical experience for deep healing and transformation for women of all ages around the world, holding a safe, protected, and non-judgmental space for the emergence of authentic connection, profound knowing, and inner healing. Inner power and inner healing. She works with women one-on-one and in groups, both face-to-face, online, and in retreat settings with the intention of raising the frequency of our planet and fostering healing one womb at a time. Emmi also hosts the Sacred Feminine podcast and runs House of Gaia, a suburban sanctuary and a center for healing and transformation in Lusaka, Zambia. She is a best-selling author and the creatrix of a soul-centered leadership training for female leaders of civil society organizations. With an MA in human rights, Emmi continues to support organizations in their quest to end injustice and inequality. Emmi, it is such an honor to have you with us today. And as you know, we're going to focus on the womb heart, our womb heart. So to start with, how would you define womb heart?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me as part of this beautiful gathering. It's an absolute honor and a blessing to be here. And for me, the womb heart has many, many layers to it. And I like to talk about, on the one hand, the very beautiful, miraculous biological connection that our heart and our womb space also has. And that really comes through the fact that our heart pumps blood throughout our bodies. And it is this blood that forms the inner lining of our womb spaces as well. And it is that blood that women shed on a monthly basis. And it is therefore part of this beautiful, miraculous cycle of life, of releasing, of shedding, of letting go, a mini death, so to speak, on a monthly basis, and then a rebirth, the layering of that lining of the womb space as well. So there's a very beautiful, very clear connection that is directly connected to the miracle of life, our ability to nurture and birth life within and from our womb spaces. It is also very much for me about the fact that our hearts really symbolize and represent love. And love to me is the greatest elixir, the greatest power that exists on our planet. It is the one thing that we can use and consciously work with to counter and really balance out the fear and the division and the polarity that seems to be growing on our planet almost on a daily basis. The judgments and the finger pointing and really the fear mongering that we are seeing on such an incredibly large scale at the moment. And the more we're able to root into love, the more we're able to balance out these energies and override the fear that might start to creep into our hearts as well as we watch what is going on our planet.
Yeah.
And when we create from a space of love, from a deep-rooted space of love, we are directly connected to source and to our true essence. And of course, when we create, we are directly in connection with our womb spaces because our wombs are really the cradle of creation, both in terms of new life, but also in terms of creativity. So when we want to birth new projects, when we want to do a piece of art, when we want to compose music or do some healing work, for example, or even start a new project, it all comes from the womb space as the center or the core of creativity. So I see a beautiful link there as well that I utilize in my own healing work as well quite a bit. And of course, we can also say that within our womb spaces, we also, in a way, have a heart as well. The center or the core of our wombs can also be described as a heart, the center of creation, the center of love that is deep within this, what I call a sacred cauldron of wisdom and power. And when we learn to work with this, consciously and learn to connect with our womb spaces and really tap into this incredible ancient wisdom that all of us have deep within ourselves, that is when we're tapping not just into this ancient feminine knowing that's been passed on generation after generation from the earliest of times. We also tapping into that powerful, powerful notion of love.
Beautiful. Thank you. So, we don't need to dwell on this too much, but if there are any insights you want to share about how it is that we got so disconnected and our womb hearts, our womb spaces got so suppressed, please, whatever you want to share in a brief way. I mean, people write books about this, and there's obviously this huge awakening in women to release the suppressed energies, but I'd love just to hear from your words.
Absolutely. From my training and the teachings that I have gone through, I always like to root into the knowing that the ancient ones knew how powerful the womb space is. And the ancient ones really revered the feminine and the woman, the female, because of her direct connection to the cycles of nature, to the cycles of moon, and to the creative powers that are so incredibly strong within our own womb spaces, but also within the universe that we live in, within the multiverse that we live in. And women were really revered as carriers of physical wombs and revered for their sacred knowing, for their sacred wisdom. Over time, this knowing and this wisdom and this power came to be feared and it came to be envied. And I like to call this the Donor Patriarchy, when we started to see a very systematic, very structured suppression and oppression of women that was happening all around the world. And part of this systematic suppression was indeed the conscious movement towards disconnecting women from the power of their wombs, from the knowing of their wombs. Because it was known that as long as we are connected to our womb wisdom and to the incredible healing powers that our wombs have, we cannot be controlled. Whereas if you disconnect us from that womb space, we lose that foundation, that very sacred feminine foundation for our gifts to be shared, for our voices to be heard, and for us to be able to consciously connect and use the alchemical powers within our womb spaces. I hope I've answered your question there.
Yeah, no, you have. And it's obviously it's a huge amount of history that we've been experiencing. So I like the way you phrase that a lot. Thank you. So this is obviously a longer question too, but briefly, how could a woman, or how would a woman access her womb heart? And I know you say womb space and we're saying womb heart, and we're recognizing that there is a sacred heart energetic to the womb space. Do you have any sort of quick tips on how women can access that energy?
Absolutely. It really is about starting to reconnect with our womb spaces. So starting to acknowledge the wisdom and power of our wombs, and literally starting to, on a daily basis, even if it's just a minute or so, to form that connection, form that conscious connection with our womb spaces. And you could literally just place your hands over your womb space to have that physical connection. I like to place one hand over my heart and the other one over the womb space. And so just have this beautiful physical connection, the warmth from your palms against the skin of your lower belly, and just going into a deep meditative state and starting to go within and starting to bring your awareness into your womb space and learning to listen to the energies of your womb and learning to listen to the messages, the voice of your womb as well. And it might be difficult in the beginning because of that disconnection that we were talking about. But the more we do that, the easier it gets. And the more your womb space also starts to open up and really starts to feed you with this beautiful, nourishing information and wisdom. I like to call them womb winks, these intuitive nudges that start to come from deep within and really provide beautiful guidance for you on your path and on your journey. And of course, you can also use various shamanic processes and journeys to access that womb wisdom and the healing potential within your womb. And also through more modern energy shifting practices. You mentioned when you introduced me that I'm also an EFTI practitioner and matrix reimprinting practitioner. And these are very beautiful tools to use when we want to rather quickly get into the subconscious and start to layer by layer, get to the root cause as to why we might have that sense of disconnection from our womb spaces and why it might be difficult for us to reconnect if we are not supported or guided in that process as well. So we can literally tap away fears and blocks and disconnections that we might not even consciously be aware that we have, and then release those blocks in a relatively quick period of time.
I love it. I love the womb winks. I'm going to play with that. That's a wonderful term. And I want you to know that as you're talking, I'm feeling my energy dropping to my womb space. You know, I'm feeling the like a beautiful opening there just with your energy and how you're expressing yourself. So clearly you carry deep, deep healing energy. Thank you for this. I hope that everyone who's watching this also experiences this to some level. You know, this question, obviously it's really important that women reconnect with our womb spaces, our womb hearts these days, because there's a new earth birthing and it's coming through fast and furious, and we're in the chaos stage. And I was talking with some friends yesterday, and what came forward was the metaphor of the cocoon. When the caterpillar goes into the chrysalis, it really is chaos that's going on inside there, because the caterpillar completely dissolves into this nebulous jelly-like, I guess you could say, substance. And then there's this deep knowing in the way that that cocoon or that chrysalis grows, that there will be a butterfly that will emerge out of that chaos. And I'm very excited about this new earth that's coming in. I have visions about it often. And I really see, like you talk about womb wings, there's really maybe a set of butterfly wings that are waiting to emerge from our womb hearts, our womb spaces, for each of us to really come forward and help birth this new earth in the midst of all this fear and chaos, because it is really getting amped up right now. So I don't know if you have anything you want to share with that. I mean, my initial question was, why is it important for women to reconnect with their womb spaces or womb hearts? We need to, because we have to step into why we're here for this new earth. But I'd love to know any of your thoughts about that.
Absolutely. I mean, the womb is really, for me, the foundation and almost like the missing piece that has always been there, like this grail, this golden grail that's always been there, but we've been searching for it. And even on my own journey, I was so very disconnected from my womb space for most of my life, despite the fact that I have been pregnant and I've got kids. And it's reconnecting and really learning to consciously work with the womb space has opened up so much for me, and has just enabled me to step into my power, into my sacred feminine power at a deeper and deeper level. And for me, the womb space, I spoke earlier about the fact that we use our womb spaces to create. We also use our womb spaces to manifest. And what could be more important at the moment than to be consciously manifesting that new earth, birthing that new earth, visioning it, dreaming it into being through our womb spaces, which is the cradle of creation. Yeah. So working with our womb spaces and using the womb in a meditative, journey-like way to open the portal to this new earth, to this place where love and compassion and forgiveness are absolutely the foundation of it all, is perhaps the most important thing at the moment. And when you start to do that, you also find that your own energy, your vibration shifts very quickly. So if you have been feeling scared, if you have been doubting yourself, or you are, starting to step into that place of worry and doubt about where on earth are we going with all of this? Do we have any hope left anymore? It is with these kinds of practices and rooting into your womb space, rooting into Gaia's womb, and then also connecting with the great cosmic womb, that we can really very quickly shift our own energies and be in that space, be in that vibration of creation, of birthing, of manifesting.
Thank you. That was so eloquent. I love the way you said that. So do you believe that men have a womb heart also?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. They might not have the physical organ within their bodies, but they have been born out of a womb space. They have been nurtured inside a womb for 9 months, some less, some more, but nevertheless, we have all been birthed within this womb consciousness.
Yeah.
And men can absolutely connect with the energy of the womb inside of themselves as well. In the Taoist tradition, we would call that the Tantien, the lower Tantien. And then from the more Shiatsu-based traditions, we would call it the Hara. And we can absolutely connect with that, even if we are men, and learn to harness those energies, those creative, nurturing energies, and use them to bring more balance within ourselves between the masculine and the feminine energies. And when we do that within ourselves, it starts to radiate from within ourselves into those around us as well. And when I say those around, I'm talking about people, and I'm also talking about animals. I'm talking all that is. And it's all about raising that collective vibration. So the more men that have the courage to start exploring this, because for a lot of them, this is really quite a scary terrain to step into. It is filled with so many question marks. And in many cases, it is a dark space. And of course, we've learned and been conditioned to associate darkness with something that is bad for us. Whereas the womb space is gloriously dark. And it is in that darkness that we are able to grow and birth new ideas, new projects, new practices, new opportunities, new worlds,
Yeah.
and babies, of course, as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Out of that dark space comes life.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So can you share any information about the heart womb as opposed to distinguishing it from the womb heart?
The heart womb.
The heart womb.
Well, the way I look at it is I work with the two concepts very consciously. And here I'm referring to the heart space and I'm referring to the womb space. And when I guide meditations and shamanic journeys and so on, I very, very often connect the two and facilitate processes and practices where we are working with the energies of the two spaces, either well, predominantly to create more balance within ourselves and to lift our vibration. Again, it can happen very, very quickly when you start to work like that. And again, remembering that connection that I mentioned earlier around heart being the core and the center of love, and our womb spaces being the core and the center of creation. And having love as the foundation of all creation and creating within and for love. And when you work with the energies, you can have the energies flowing either in a circular motion between the two centers, or it can be in a more infinity kind of a loop, forming the number 8 or the symbol of infinity. And you will for sure generate quite a bit of heat within yourself to begin with.
Wow.
But it is also a very beautiful practice in terms of really just realigning your own vibration and your own energy.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. So you were talking also about Mother Gaia's womb heart. And I also work with the cosmic womb, the womb of creation. I'd love to hear any thoughts you have about that, how you would describe them, and perhaps ways to connect with them. I know that's a huge question. You probably lead meditations about that, and we don't have time for that. But anything you wish to express about those, because we are all connected to them, and it's a concept that a lot of people are not aware of.
Yeah, sure. So the womb of Gaia for me is in many ways, it is a very concrete part of who we are, because we are one with Mother Earth. We are one with Gaia. And without Gaia, we wouldn't be here. And it really essentially is about learning to very consciously live in a respectful, honoring relationship with Mother Earth and connecting with her womb, which is at the very center, at the very core of Gaia. And this space is a very nurturing, a very nourishing, a very healing space through which we can, on the one hand, release fears and worries. Anything that no longer serves us can be released to the womb of Gaia. And we can also draw up those beautiful, healing, nourishing energies from her womb into our own womb spaces and throughout our bodies. And really, again, shift our vibration, shift our frequency, and really do some incredibly powerful healing work for ourselves as well. The great cosmic womb, again, is the great primordial black hole, the womb of all, where everything has come from, where everything has been birthed from. And again, we are working with these dark spaces that really allow for life to grow. So for me, the womb of the great cosmic womb is really about surrendering to this great void where you might not know what happens next, but you have absolute trust in the knowing that you are being looked after, no matter what is happening around you. And this space is incredibly expansive. It is incredibly creative. It is incredibly opening and incredibly allowing as well. So tapping into the great cosmic womb, you can really drawing these beautiful energies of expansion, beautiful energies of creativity and creation, and this absolute knowing that we are held at
Mm,
all times.
mm, that's lovely. I'm sitting here and I'm listening to you and I'm thinking, I bet she leads a really powerful journey of connecting with the womb of creation, the cosmic womb. I'm going to sign up for this. That's not necessarily part of our interview right now, but I'm going, I would love to know your approach to that. Wow. Amazing. So we already covered that. Is there any more like little nugget of wisdom about our womb heart, our womb space that you feel that you'd like to express right now that you haven't covered so far?
I think what's coming through quite strongly right now is that it's never too late to connect. Even if you no longer have a physical womb, the energy of that womb will always, always be with you. And you can always learn to consciously connect, to consciously listen, and consciously trust more and more those womb wings, those messages, whether they are messages that you hear, messages that you pick up energetically, it's like a knowing, or messages that you visually see as well. It could be a symbol or an image of something. And the more we learn to do this, and the more courageously we step into that space where we take action according to those womb wings, the more aligned our lives will also feel, the more synchronicities will start to take place, the more miracles will start to appear on your path as well. And there will just generally be more ease and more grace in all that you do. And when I speak this, I am not saying that I am some sort of a guru who's able to be in that state all the time. Absolutely not. It is very much a path where we go through our dips and we climb up and we go down as well. But the womb space has become such an incredibly important compass for me on my life's path that the more I trust and the more I take almost like leaps of faith based on what I hear, and the more I honor and nourish my womb space and give her what she's needing in any moment when I connect with her, the more loving I am towards myself as a person as well. And the more compassion I have for me, and the more compassion I have for those around me. When I don't do that connection, I can quite easily dip into fear or judgment or go out of balance energetically. And I notice, okay, fine, I haven't done my connection enough today. Let me go sit by a tree or lie down on the grass or just lie down on my bed and just connect, even if it's for a couple of minutes, and see what my womb has to say.
Wow, your connection with your womb is so strong. It's just so beautiful. And I love you just mentioned going out and sitting by a tree or lying on the ground, because that's a way to be more connected with Mother Gaia and then drop our energy to her womb heart, which is one of the things that I teach about. But we didn't talk about this in advance, but would you be able to lead us through a short meditation to help us connect with our womb heart, our womb space? It would be really wonderful if you had a short one you could lead us through. Thank you.
Absolutely. How long do we have? Just so that I have an idea of
honestly, we've been going pretty fast in this interview. So if you want to do 10 minutes, 15 minutes, I'm really open. The field that you carry, that is such a powerful healing field, I would love for many people to experience this through this interview and really learn about your powerful work. So however you're guided, but we do have, I think we're kind of ample with time.
Okay, beautiful. Yeah, I would be honored to do that. Thank you. Okay, so if it feels safe for you to do so, you're welcome to close your eyes. And I invite you to place one hand over your heart space and the other one over your womb space. And just take a couple of deep, deep breaths, breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth. I'd really welcome you to let out a sigh as you're breathing out, a sigh of release, a sigh of relaxation. And allow your sacred breath to guide you deeper into the present moment, deeper inside your beautiful body. And deeper inside your inner knowing. You might notice that your body wants to sway or move as you're breathing. Allow her to do that. And I invite you to take the deepest breath you've taken all day today, just breathing in through the nose and breathing out with a huge sigh. And as your awareness becomes more and more focused on your inner world, I invite you to connect with your womb space, your sacred cauldron of wisdom and power, your sacred cauldron of feminine energy and incredible healing potential. You might want to say hi to your womb space, greet her, and smile at her. And for a moment, just tune into her energies right in this moment. How is your womb space feeling? What are the energies like? And there's no right or wrong here. The energies just are the way they are. Acknowledge them, honor them, witness them. And as you tune into the energies inside your womb space, you might want to form an intention for our journey together, for the rest of your day or your evening or your night. Now this could be a single word, or it could be a few words. Beautiful. And with your full awareness inside, deep inside your womb space, with your mind's eye, you notice that there is this beautiful seed inside your womb, this brown golden seed. Just nestled inside your womb space. And as you breathe, breathing in and out of your womb space, you are nourishing the seed with your breath, with your energy. And as you're breathing into the seed, you notice that roots start to form from the bottom of that seed. And as you keep breathing, nourishing these roots, they start to become stronger and longer. And imagine how these roots are growing longer and longer from your womb space down into Mother Earth, into Gaia's soil. And as you breathe, feel these roots grow stronger still, burrowing deeper and deeper into Mother Earth's soil, growing stronger, growing longer. See how they grow and get longer and reach the very center of Gaia, Mother Earth, Gaia's womb, at the very core of Gaia, this beautiful velvety darkness. It's pulsating with incredibly powerful, healing, nourishing, and nurturing energies. And as you breathe in, you start to draw in this nourishing, nurturing energy from the womb of Gaia, through the roots of this seed, all the way up to your own womb space. Keep breathing, keep drawing in these energies, and feel Gaia's energy from deep down in her womb space, inside your own womb. Feel it swirling around, clearing, cleansing, healing. And as you breathe out, allow all that no longer serves to be released into the embrace of Gaia. Breathe in a few more times, drawing in and collecting this energy from Gaia's womb. And with your out breath, releasing that which no longer serves, any fears, any worries, any wounds that you are ready to let go, your soul is ready to let go. Let them go now. Release them into the womb of Gaia. Beautiful. And bring your awareness to the seed again. Feel the energies of Gaia around it. And as you keep breathing into this seed, into your womb space, you notice that the seed cracks open and this beautiful green shoot starts to form. And as you nourish it with your breath and with the energies from Gaia, the shoot starts to grow stronger and taller, reaching further and further up, growing taller, growing taller, moving up, up, all the way up to the great cosmic womb, the primordial black hole, up in the skies, up in space. And feel this shoot reaching the very center of the great cosmic womb. And feel into these energies of expansion, creation, opening, creativity. And as you breathe in, start to breathe in these energies through the shoot, all the way down into your own womb space, nurtured and nourished by the energies from Gaia. Keep breathing. Keep drawing in these energies from the great cosmic womb and feel them swirl around inside your womb, mingling with your energy and the energy from Gaia. Creating space, creating openings, creating space for allowing, for trusting, for greater love and compassion. Beautiful. And then for a moment, allow these energies from your womb space, these nourished, nurtured energies, expansive, creative energies, to expand beyond your womb into your heart space. And feel your heart respond. Feel your heart open and receive gracefully and with ease all this healing energy. Feel your heart expand and open, radiating these energies within you and around you, expanding, expanding to our universe, our multiverse, our universe, creating this beautiful web of love inside of ourselves and all around us. Just feel these energies for a while longer, just a little while longer. Keep breathing, tuning into this radiant energy, pulsating from you, surrounding you, enveloping you, holding you. Supporting you as you rest deep in the knowing that all is as it is meant to be, and that you are always, always divinely held and looked after. I invite you to thank the womb of Gaia and the great cosmic womb. Thank your womb space. Thank your heart. And when you feel ready, you're welcome to start to bring your awareness back to your body, back to the room that you are in. You might wish to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And when you're ready, you're welcome to open your eyes. Welcome back.
Oh my gosh. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. I really hope that this meditation, this video, this interview with you goes far and wide. and that many people watch this, which is, I think, one of the reasons that Mother Gaia said, make this available for free indefinitely. So thank you. You are a very powerful, gifted healer, my friend.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me.
No, I as I was listening to you and feeling the energy shifting, and I actually received a clearing in my heart field with what you were guiding me or us through. I could go on, and this is supposed to be an interview. Yeah, you really, you embody the mother so powerfully. Thank you for all that you've done and you're being on your soul path. Honoring you. Okay, well, Emmi, thank you. Just thank you. I would love to think this is the beginning of a longer conversation. I'd probably be maybe reaching out to you for a session. For those who want to learn more about Emmi and her work, please look below here in the text below this video on YouTube. Her link is there, her bio. You can, explore her website. She's doing powerful work, and she clearly is one of the significant, I'm really saying this, one of the significant women bringing the divine feminine forward to help us birth this new earth. So thank you to you and your guides and your ancestors and your teachers, Emmi, for all that you give us. And do take care of yourself. With all that you juggle, do take care of yourself. I think Mother's telling me to tell you that.
Thank you. Yeah, that hits the spot. Thank you.
Yeah. To go out and play and take a break too at times. All right. Thank you so much. And to all who are listening, have been listening, please join us for the 1,000 Goddesses Gathering Global Grid. The information's below here too. Please register your ceremonies if you feel guided to lead one. If you want to just do a ceremony by yourself, that's fine. And yeah, focusing on opening up and healing our womb spaces, our womb hearts, and linking our womb hearts around the world, connected to Mother Gaia's heart and the womb of creation, is really the goal of this particular global grid this year, because this is what's needed, that great opening and heart space. And yeah, I'll just say yeah at the end there. All right. Thank you, Emmi. So much love and gratitude to you. And yes, thank you for being part of this interview series. So much love.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.